United Nations Security Council. It's one of the three elected African members. We're also serving as chair of the African Union. So it's been quite a busy diplomatic calendar in 2020, even without all of the COVID-19, the implications of that on the diplomatic calendar. So yeah, we have quite a number of very important international and multilateral commitments in 2020. These, of course, will soon be coming to an end in the beginning of next year.
What is important to understand is looking at South Africa at this point in time, we are a struggling economy. We are not doing too well economically. But also at the same time, when one looks at the country, we look at our engagements, we look at it locally, we look at it internationally. And with the pandemic worldwide, it does impact on our engagements on an international level.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a critical question that we should all be asking these days. I think we're all facing an extremely distressed economic and political situation. And, not enough attention is often placed on scrutinizing the administration and the management of our foreign service. This is not to say that they aren't extremely dedicated, professional, and capable diplomats and officials within our foreign service. But my most recent article is mainly a system-wide critique of how the system is run, whether we get value for money from these engagements. We have numerous foreign missions all over the world with quite a large number of staff in the billions of rands that they receive over the current 3-year period. And basically the questions I'm just pointing at are, are these foreign missions managing to secure greater trade and investment to South Africa? Are they actively contributing toward bolstering investment-driven growth in South Africa? How are these benchmarks woven into the performance plans and appraisals of our foreign service? And essentially, is there enough public oversight and scrutiny of the performance of the foreign service? So I think in recent years, we've had quite a number of excellent reviews that have taken place that have looked at DIRCO, that have looked at the foreign service. But these have been primarily from a political and a strategic perspective, looking at the character of South African foreign policy. What we often forget to look at is the administration and management is equally as important, as vital. And I think in our current economic situation right now, much greater attention needs to be placed on how this administration is being run. Are we getting enough value for money? Is this cost effective? Over the last couple of months with COVID, with the president's call for a 500 billion rand fiscal stimulus package for the economy and the reduction in budgets across all government departments, what was quite interesting to me is the fact that DIRCO and the Foreign Service managed to cut over 300 million rand from their current budget allocation for this year. And in recent interactions and engagements with the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on International Relations, the DG basically said that this would have a very minimal impact on the performance of the departments of the Foreign Service for this year. So I think that just raised the flag in my mind, and I basically wanted to pose the question that if all of these unanticipated budget cuts happened this year, and it led to such a minimal operational impact on the achievements of the department's outcomes and plans for this year, surely we should be questioning, was the initial baseline budget cost effective in the first place? And basically, we're just trying to stimulate a broader discussion on those types of issues.
Well, Priyal, I'm sure that these will raise many questions. And as you pointed out, we are talking about value for money. And are these cuts, sufficient, considering that DIRCO has got a huge budget and something in the region of close on to 6.8 billion rand. Now, this is massive. And, in terms of delivery, in terms of outcomes, in terms of what DIRCO is giving for value for money, is this budget justified?
Look, I mean, I would be the first one to argue that our foreign service is absolutely vital to the interests of South Africa, for all South Africans. The foreign service is absolutely vital in the job that in the role that they play on the global stage to advance our interests amongst the big powers and within the multilateral system. So my argument is not necessarily that there should be massive cuts across the administration because it's inefficient. My argument is that let us learn lessons from this current period, from this current lockdown period, and look at the temporary budgetary stopgaps that were put in place. And let's ask ourselves the question, how can we apply these temporary measures and adapt them to improve the efficiency, to improve the cost effectiveness of the budget of the departments and of the foreign service moving forward? I think that we're party to numerous multilateral organizations. Some of them are absolutely critical. I mean, the United Nations, the African Union, these are vital multilateral forums that South Africa needs to be part of to prove its commitment as a capable and effective anchor state for the Southern African region, as a responsible international stakeholder. But of course, there's many other organizations that most South Africans, if you ask them, have absolutely no idea. What are these organizations? Why do we contribute so much towards the membership fees of these organizations? Do we need these many officials actively working within these certain portfolios, within these organizations? And again, my argument is we should generally just open up a broader discussion, a broader debate on the management and the administration of the foreign service, not necessarily arguing for a cut or a reduction. I would love to see a more capacitated foreign service moving forward. And I think that the real issue here is for us to learn lessons from this current period in order to improve our value for money on the world stage.
Exactly. And I think also considering the fact that we've got well over 100 missions right across the entire world, these missions should come under the radar. They should come under scrutiny in terms of what benefit these missions are provided, because, it's again about delivery, it's about performance, and at the end of the day, value for money.
Absolutely. I think it's, like I mentioned, it's been an ongoing source of frustration for many years now that some of our foreign missions really do not seem to provide any real direct evidence that there is a value for money, that they are bringing in trade, that they are bringing in investment. We also suggest that we need performance plans. So we need much more impact-oriented performance plans and appraisals for all key diplomatic officials and heads of mission posted, as well as for key mechanisms like the African Renaissance Fund, for example. We need greater public scrutiny, surrounding the performance of these mechanisms, of these personnel, because for many years, there's this underlying, lingering frustration that certain officials are just kind of deployed overseas without the proper kind of intensive training and diplomatic, diplomatic training that is required for them to really impact South African foreign policy, to bring in that trade, to improve relations, and to show that value for money.
Well, it certainly makes a lot of sense in terms of the research that you have done, Priyal, and there's a lot of food for thought there. There's a lot that we need to think about as well. And we thank you for that and for your time with us this morning and sharing what you have with us. And we wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care.
Priyal Singh, researcher at the Institute for Security Studies. And again, huge question marks that have been raised with regards to the Department of International Relations and this 6.8 billion budget that they receive on an annual basis, and looking at the cut as a result of COVID-19, obviously minimal. And once again, I think this is the point that many have raised, where one looks at the private sector and the public sector, the impact of COVID-19 and how it has impacted on people that are employed in the private sector. We know of the 2.2 million job losses, a further 1.5 million job losses from now till the end of the year are at risk. Many people are working short time, they are working half the month. They've had to take cuts in salaries. And yeah, we have the public sector, and DIRCO is just one example of many who are being paid by the state. And the last 5 or 6 months, what has DIRCO actually been doing? Have they been working? And with this huge budget that they've got, people are still being paid at full salaries. They're still enjoying the benefits. And this is something that the government needs to talk about, because these are sources of frustration right across the entire country. The time is just gone, 8:41, and when we come back, we are looking at our weekly edition with eTechwini Secure this morning. And this morning we are talking about service delivery and activism. We'll be joined by Imtiaz Sayed, the chairperson of eTechwini Secure.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
Any advice for young women who are looking up to you?
If I have to give advice, I would just say to women and young women, don't be scared of who you are and what you represent. Fight for your voice and make sure that you're heard.
This is Salam Media.
The time is just gone 8:43 a.m. and we were going to be talking with ASATU, the South African Democratic Teachers Union, who have joined the COSATU strike and calling the government an uncaring employer. Now, 2 days ago, we heard of World Teachers Day, and many accolades were given to teachers for their bravery during the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuring that the academic year got saved. But what SATU is saying is the government, being an uncaring employer, they have failed to pay salary increases that were due 2 years ago. And what SATU is also saying is the employer, which is the government, is showing no respect, no appreciation to hard-working teachers, even during these difficult times of pain and anxiety that has been caused by the pandemic. And they're calling it a slap in the face that has left many teachers demoralized. Also, they are saying that a number of other issues that they will be supporting this strike by COSATU will be against corruption, unemployment, gender-based violence, and the erosion of collective bargaining. And this is where the attack comes through on the government, saying that the undermining of collective bargaining weakens workplace democracy and dialogue. When dialogue is destroyed, the results will be the promotion of anarchy, and the promotion of collective bargaining ensures labor peace in the workplace, the right to bargain collectively as enshrined in our democratic legislation. And 2 days ago, when the world celebrated World Teachers Day, one of the key issues, and this was also reinforced by the Basic Education Minister, N.G. Mosheka, who thanked teachers for having worked tirelessly during the uncertain period, or the most uncertain period in our history, and under the theme, Teachers Leading in Crisis, Reimagining the Future. So sadly, it has got to the stage where also there have been teachers who have succumbed to the virus and other ailments. And this is the reason why Satu is feeling the way they are at this point in time. We're going to go for another break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Imtiaz Sayed Itequini Sikyo.
It's time to act now. COVID-19 is a global pandemic, and we need your help to flatten the curve.